anything. Yeah, that's better. That's better. There we go. And we are live. Welcome to my stream. How's it going? How is everybody today? What is up in the world? Oh, excuse me. I've been talking a lot today, so if I'm all hoarse, I do apologise. Well, if there's anyone here, that is. Just got off work. Time for a beer. Oh, that makes sense, Nancy. How are you doing? How was your weekend and everything? Did you have a good time? Was it everything that you hoped and more? Smudge? Hey, that's okay. Hey, Smudge, how's it going? How are you? How are you doing today? How's everyone feeling? What's everyone's feelings today on this lovely Monday? Hello from the real Nubian. Oh, I spoke to you today, didn't I? I think so. I did a podcast. I don't know who with though. No, I did a podcast with the real Nubian. Apparently, that's going to be out tomorrow, guys. So that'll be lovely. Nancy, I teach. It's been horrible. Oh yes, that sounds sufficiently horrible. But you won't teach you on the weekend, surely? That doesn't make any sense, Nancy. Smudge, I'm good. How are you? I haven't talked to you lately. No. I've been watching lots of horror with my evenings. So I finished watching all of the Saw series, which was sufficiently gory. Because I'd only watched the first one before, which is still the best one by far. But yeah, I did like the fact that as you go through all of the movies, that they all sort of interlink. You know, they've kept a story, like a coherent story. You know how, like with a lot of horrors, it's just like, oh well, here's a new bunch of teenagers that are just going to get annihilated at the cabin by the, in the woods or whatever, by the lake. I did like the fact that it was coherent all the way through, but it was just a bit like, okay, what gnarly shit can we think of to put in this one? And then I watched Pet Sematary again last night, the first one, the original one anyway, not the remake. So that was good. I think tomorrow I'm going to watch Rosemary's Baby. So I haven't seen that in a while. That's one of those films again that you sort of wish you could like forget when you go to watch it again, because there's like a bit in that where you're like, oh my god, fucking everything makes sense now. So it's good. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, you should watch Rosemary's Baby. That's freaky as. It's the glowed up geek girl. I'll slay with Tay. How's it going? Sneaking in. How are you, Tay? How was your weekend? How's it all doing in Tay world? Shanoa, hello, gorgeous people. Hello, Shanoa. I haven't seen you in bloody ages. I literally spoke to him before. Valentin, hola, or hello. How are you? I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. How was your weekend? How are you? How's it all doing in this wonderful day that is our Monday? Nancy, no, I just planned lessons and graded. It's not looking good. Oh, well, I mean, don't write yourself off immediately. That's not good. It's not over till it's over, and every other rocky platitude I can think of to say. But yeah, you don't want to write yourself off. Definitely not. It might not look good at the moment, but that's at the moment, and that can always be worked on. Real Nubian saying hello to Shanoa. Tay is saying it was low-key good seeing you, darling. Well, thank you very much, Tay. Thank you very much. It's always lovely seeing you as well, even though I think this is your first time here, which, I won't hold against you, but if it's the only time here, then I think I will. So Val says, hello from Uruguay. Hello from the UK. More specifically, Wales. Yeah. How's it all going in your world of Uruguay? I don't know too much about Uruguay, so you might be the authority in this chat room on the subject of Uruguay. I would hope so if you're from there. So Shanoa says hello to the real Nubian. Can't wait for your next podcast. Of course, because it involves me. He said as his head got bigger and bigger and bigger and couldn't fit through the door. Let's have a look. Everyone's saying hello. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was awesome. Well, it's always like really natural whenever I do a podcast, even though it's just been two. But yeah, well, all of the podcasts that I do. No, but yeah, whenever we have our talks, it's always a bit like a Pulp Fiction movie, like a Quentin Tarantino movie, where like we start here and then it goes here, and then it just sort of we jump around quite a bit. But I feel like it's always coherent, nevertheless. And it's fun. Yeah, it's always fun. Say, no, I'll sneak in when I'm not in the office. You're breaking protocol, are you right now? Bloody hell, here she is, like sneaking in, like breaking protocol through the firewall. Shanoa, I got to babysit my nephew pups today and they left, and now my heart is sad. Yeah, so if you haven't seen on Shanoa's Twitter, she's been looking after what I can only describe as the most photogenic dogs I've ever seen. And I've got Jess, obviously, and I think she's pretty bloody photogenic. But these dogs are like they should be like models, like model dogs. It's wild. I think one is like, I can't remember what the species is, but it's a lassie dog, and then the other one is some kind of sausage dog, I guess, like a long-haired sausage dog. They're very, very cute. It's ridiculous how cute they are. It's obscene, like how cute they are. Real Nubian. We'll just make the door bigger. Okay. Smudge. Apparently, we need to deflate your ego a touch. It would certainly appear so. It would certainly appear so. Nancy, puppies make everything better. Of course, puppies always make everything better. This is just a scientific fact. I believe the exact figure is it makes everything 100% better. So yes, that would be correct. Tay, I'm working from home this week, so here I am. Actually, that's why I posted so much today. Okay, that makes sense then. That's it. I won't talk to your manager then, if that's the case. We won't grass you in yet. Nancy, oh my God, did you hear Disneyland is selling $100 sandwich? What is in this sandwich that warrants $100? A sandwich? I don't know. That sort of made me short circuit a little bit there because, like, I'm trying to think. I know you guys like to sort of make Scooby Doo sandwiches over there, where it's all like sort of stacked. It's like, how many foods can we get in two pieces of fucking bread? So it's a bit like I can sort of see it on one level, but then even then, if you had like a ton of different meats, it would have to be like primo, surely. I don't know. I'm trying to guess here, but I'm surely Nancy will tell me because she won't leave me in suspense, will she? We'll find out on the next exciting episode of what the fuck's in that sandwich. Shanoa, they sure are cute. One is Shelty and the one is a wiener dog. I love the fact that it's just called a wiener dog. That's so funny. We call them sausage dogs over here, so yeah, maybe there's a little bit more decorum in that. Real Nubian science. Oh my God, to Nancy. Nancy, right. Does it come with a piggyback ride through the park? That would be interesting. Who needs that expensive of a sandwich? Yeah, what's in the sandwich, Nancy? Like, come on, Nancy, we demand. We need to know. That's wild to me. Like, that's just I don't even know. Yeah. Stop trying to guess, hard. Like, you're not gonna figure it out. Sure. For the rich Disney adults, yeah. Well, we were literally talking about Disneyland today in our Nubian's podcast, but we were both talking, obviously, and I was saying that like a tip is take your own fucking food. You know, not maybe for every single day that you're going if you're there for like a week or two. But yeah, there's no way you can afford to just like keep going through the food at Disney. It's insane how much it costs. A slice of pizza is like fucking unreal. It's like this better be the best pizza. It's $100 sandwich. It better like reduce me to tears if I eat it. Um, how much food costs at Disney? No, with how much food costs at Disney, that wouldn't surprise me. My beer was $10. What? Yeah, it's actually funny you mentioned that. So, um, yeah, the only time I drank when I was at Disney is when we go to the, like in Epcot, they've got like that little walk, different countries sort of thing, and it's always like very typical whatever country you're walking through. And obviously we go to the British one where there's the pub. And then like people just give you some special treatment because you're British. They're like, oh my god, is this how it is exactly at home? And you're like, sure man, why not, why not. Natasha says hi. Well, hi Natasha, how are you? How's it all going in your world today? How was your weekend? Nancy, the sandwich includes salami, rosemary ham, provolone. I'm guessing, is that? I don't know what that means. Sun-dried tomato bread on toasted. I don't even know what that means either. For I'm not even going to pronounce it because I'm going to make myself look stupid. It comes with marinara dripping sauce and arugula, right? Salad, some kind of fucking salad. So like, that still doesn't sound like $100 worth of food to me. That's obscene. Like, I better be getting like half a cow if I'm spending that much on a sandwich. Um, Shanoa says hey to Natasha. Nancy, I've lived in California all of my haven't gone there once. Oh, what, to Disney? I was going to say, well, if you live in California, surely you have been there because you live there. But yeah, it's to Disney. I get you. Yeah, well, the one I went to was the one in Florida with the insane humidity. So that was fun. It is fun, but like, yeah, I couldn't sweat at the time, so I'd probably enjoy it a bit more now. Instead of just like trying to find shady places to smoke the whole time. The Royal Nubian, well, we'll have that. The real Nubian at Nancy. I expected gold leaf or caviar or something. Yeah, I expected something a bit fancier than just like an Italian sandwich. It just seems a bit like, all right, cool sandwich, bro. It's big enough to feed 5 people, apparently. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's wild. I don't know. 100. I am one of those people where even if I really want something, um, I'll still feel sick as I'm handing over the money for it. Like if it like when I got like my computer, it was like a few £100, and that's like I really want this, I really need this, but I'm still like, oh my god, this is horrendous. I hate handing over this much money for anything, let alone something that basically isn't going to be in my system in a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? Tay, I need to go back to Disney World and make some new memories. Definitely, yeah, I do. I want to go back there. Definitely, it's an awesome laugh. I love theme parks. See, I've never been to Busch Gardens. That I've heard many good things about. Um, it's an Italian cheese. Oh, okay, cool. Natasha, I'm good. Just got off work and heading home. Terence is driving. Terence the bastard. Weekend. Had yesterday off at least. Well, at least you had yesterday off. That's fine. Emmeline, good evening, everyone. So everyone say good evening to Emmeline. How are you doing, Emmeline? You know the drill. How was your weekend? How's it going? What's up in your world? Real Nubian. No, I'll say Royal Nubian now. It's a fancy, large Italian sandwich. Yeah, it was like basted in swan's tears as well at the same time. Although, yeah, I guess swans don't have the same kind of significance as they do over here because they're protected by the Queen. but still, I would imagine like attaining any tears from swans would be quite a task and maybe worth a fair amount of money. Um, hey Natasha says Smudge, Shanoa, faux court char. Oh right, you're trying to fucking say how to say it. Okay, focaccia, or arugula. There we are. That's totally funny as fuck. Shinoa, he needs help. Lol. Hi Smudgy, everyone's saying hello. Why is life so expensive? I don't know. It's the price of existence. Smudge. So it's really $20 per person for this sandwich. Sounds more reasonable, kind of. I don't know. No, because I don't know. It's a sandwich, man. Like a sandwich is supposed to tie you over. It's not supposed to be the main event, surely. Um, Yeah, but then again, yeah, I have seen sandwiches over there that are like the size of a bowling ball, so I'm not really I'm sort of equating it to British sandwiches, which is a different thing entirely. Um, Natasha, the only time I went to Disney was when I was 10, so like 27 years. Yeah, it's changed a bit now. They got rid of the sketchy parts of the Pirates of the Caribbean and chucked Johnny Depp's character in there too. So it's definitely changed a lot for me when I was young and I went. Oh, I've already read that. Real Nubian Smudge. Yes, that makes sense. But $20 is still a lot. It is still a lot. It's Oh, I wonder if that girl of TikTok who just eats all the sandwiches in one bite. I wonder if she's tried that. That would be insane, wouldn't it? She eats food like a snake eats food, man. It's wild. I don't understand how she can do it. But, she has got the mouth the size of a, you know, it's like a fucking manhole cover. I've never seen anything like it. Smudge, I was at Disneyland when I was 9 or 10. I've been, Disney World, and then I've been to Disneyland in Paris, which is a bit grim, if I'm being honest. Didn't really like it. It was all right for the weekend that we were there, and it was with school, but yeah, it was a bit like, I don't know. It's not the same, man. It's like got an ear of depression around it compared to the one in Florida where everyone's like, "Hey, how's it going?" and really like up for making it the best time ever. Whereas like in France, it's more like, you bought your ticket, fuck off already. Tay, I went to Disney World, only one park, and Busch Gardens with my ex. So yeah, new memories needed. Okay, so we're etch sketching those old memories and we're putting new ones in. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I like the whole park. It's but it does take it out of you, sort of thing. It's one of those things that people might think, because we did all of the Disney ones. One of the water parks, which was Blizzard Beach, I think it was, but I had previously done Typhoon Lagoon. But yeah, we went to Epcot. It used to be called MGM Studios. I don't know if it still is. And apparently the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror isn't there anymore. And if that's the case, then that'll bum me out, man, because I was like, that was awesome. And then yeah, that's obviously like the main one, and the Animal Kingdom, which is insane because like the main ride is like a full blown African safari. It's insane. I've saw animals there that I've never seen in my life. So yeah, it definitely is something else. It's worth going to, I think, at some point. Real Nubian. Well, according to my mother, we descend from a king, so Royal Nubian checks out. Fair enough. Yeah, it seems legit. All hail the Royal Nubian. I went to Disney when I was 24. Lol. Well, yeah, I think that was pretty much that was the age when I went last time as well. Bloody hell. No, fucking hell, time flies, doesn't it? Devon, hello Devon, how's it going? How are you? How are you feeling at the moment? Was your weekend any good? Let us know. Natalia went into radio mode. Oh my god. So next up, We've got Hanson. I don't mind Disney, but I prefer Universal, honestly. Universal has the better rides, I think, for sure. Because you've got the Marvel Land and then the Harry Potter ride, which is like mind bending. It's just like a haunted house on like roids. It's insane. And then I'm trying to think what else there is. Yeah, the Mummy Returns ride is really good. The Men in Black one is good because we had this guy to his job as well, so it always makes it like much better as opposed to the ones where they're just like, yeah, take your seat and whatever. So like, say for instance, the Jaws ride is a really good example of that. Like that whole ride, basically, it's all down to the dude who's driving the boat. And if he's not selling it to you, or she is not selling it to you, then it's not that much of a good ride. Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, I think a lot of that comes to how it's sold to you. So like with the Men in Black one, you get one of them turns up and takes you down into where the HQ and is and everything. But what he did is he shut everyone up. So you go into like this first part. So the doors close behind you, and there's some double doors in front of you too. And all of a sudden, he pretends like he's getting eaten from the other side of the door, and everyone's like freaking out. And then he just comes out the other side. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" But before that, he was screaming bloody murder. So, yeah, it's definitely. I do like the fact that people throw themselves into it over that. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, so let's crack on, see what's going on here. I've never been to Disneyland. Well, that's a shame. You need to rectify that at some point. It's awesome fun. Yeah, it's brilliant. Like I say, Universal is awesome. Busch Gardens I've never been to, but I've heard really good things. Um, Tay says it's all Star Wars now. Oh, what? For the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror? That's a bummer, man. Shanoa, it was when I was there, the tower across from the Aerosmith coaster. Yeah, that Aerosmith coaster's really awesome as well. Tay, Hollywood MGM Studios, that's the one park we went to. It's a good one. It's a bloody good one. It would be weird. I like Epcot, but Epcot's like sort of that's like your breather park because everything's so relentless in all the other parks. So it would have sucked if you just went to Epcot, to be fair, because you'd be like, this is Disney, this sort of sucks a little bit. But it's good if it's amongst going to all the other parks, you know what I mean. Smudge saying hello to Devon. Devon, did your birthday just pass? Did your birthday just pass, Devon? Bloody hell. You can't go creeping in without saying your birthday. That's outrageous. The Royal Nubian, well, my Royal Highness got summoned to work. Have fun, guys. Sloth, don't forget to plug the podcast later. Will do. Yeah, so I mean, I might as well say it then. So I did a podcast with Royal Nubian earlier today, and she says it's going to be out tomorrow, and we talk about everything. So yeah, they'll definitely have to check that out for sure, because yeah, it's always good and it's always natural as well. That's the brilliant thing about doing that podcast. It's never you sort of think sometimes you're going to do something and it's like a bit weird. It's not even that. It's just off the ground running every time. So yeah, it's awesome. Devon, hey Smudge, my birthday was on the 8th, so technically yes. Yeah, I mean it's the same month, so we'll take it. We'll take it. Happy birthday, Devon. What did you do for your birthday? What was it all like? Did you have a good time? Was it brilliant? Did you get everything that your heart desired? Damn. Then whose is 20 something? Well, happy belated. Oh, okay. So Smudge is trying to suss out whose birthday it is. Happy belated birthday to Devin, says Terence the Bastard. Well, he just comes sneaking in, wishing people happy birthday and such. Everyone's saying hello to Terence. Thanks, Smudge, says Devon. And yeah, bastard. Bastard. Not Smudge, Terence. How do you know about that? So people have just been picking that up from me saying it so many times. There you go, Terence. That's your name now forevermore, bro. welcome. Any day, anytime. Um, okay, so everyone's saying hello. I got all the food my heart desires, Sloth. Well, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, if there is no food, then what's the point? I get hangry. Does anyone else get like really hangry? If like the worst is right. So say for instance you're with a bunch of people and you're hungry and you're near food and you can get food anytime you want, but everyone's like, no, we'll just wait for a little bit. Oh, well, what about an hour? It's like, I've got to have food now. I'm telling you, I'm hungry. The food has got to be eaten soon, you know. So it's like it's happening, whether you like it or not. More than likely, if we're going to be waiting another hour, if my belly's kicking off, it's time to eat. Um, Terence, oh, and I got to tag you in something on Twitter. Saw at work and thought, yep, Sloth. Okay, well, we'll see what that is. It seems so it could be some kind of treacherous, bullshittery. No, I don't know what it is. Shanoa, I get so hangry. I do. I never used to. That's the funny thing, but I did used to party a lot more. So there's the caveat there. Once I stopped partying so much, I got hungrier. So it's yeah. But when I do, I just go like quiet. You know what I mean? Whereas oh yeah, what do you think of that? I go, yeah, no, it's great. It's like, yeah, no, I'm sure that would be nicer with a full belly. Devon, whenever I get super hungry, I just tell everyone around me I'm gonna go feral, and they know to leave me alone. Leave you alone, or lead you to food. That's the way forward, really. Yeah, I just get too irritated if I'm left to stay hungry for too long. But obviously it's not you're never too far from being able to rectify that problem in the in the Western world anyway. So unless you happen to be out in the mountains or some shit. But yeah, I get super hungry. Wait a sec, what happened to the sloth in the hot tub? Well, if I was inquiring about prices today, it's hardly likely that I fucking went out and got one today, Terence. It's fucking 1:30, bro, or 12:30 even. Um, but yeah, it's funny, right? You said like you do a joke on Twitter and just everyone's like straight on there, straight away. It's funny. Shanoa, I get annoyed with anything and everything when I'm hungry. Could show me a puppy and I'll find some reason to be mad. Need food now, lol. Yeah, it's I'm exactly the same. It's just a case of feed me now, and otherwise consequences be damned. Devon, wait, what joke? Oh, I said, what was it? What was the wording of it? I'll bring it up. Why we have fucking phone devices, isn't it? Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, it was just made a joke about hot tub Twitch streams because that's the thing that's been sort of going around a lot at the moment. It's just funny that like people get worked up about it because you're like at the end of the day, what does it matter, man? What does it matter how people make their money at the end of the day? But um, and unless it's like genocide and shit like that, but then it matters. But yeah, I said, wow, these Twitch hot tub streams are getting loads of subs and views. Anyway, on a totally unrelated topic, hot tubs aren't as pricey as I previously thought, and just everyone was like, like immediately on it, like no one's business. Which yeah, it's always kind of funny. But yeah, it's that was the joke basically. Hardy ha ha. Terence, just buy a little plastic. That's more sloth style. Yeah. Oh my days. Yeah. Well, I've got the fucking space, man. But everyone's saying hello because a wild Xylee entered the chat. How's it going? Yeah. How you doing, Xylee? How was your weekend? How you doing? And Xylee, good in your prospective hood. Everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. Um, Yeah, so that's basically lol doing great, dude. Good, good. Good, 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 good. That's what we like to hear. Um, so yeah, what were we talking about before? It was like hot tubs and then, Disney World. As usual, there's never any sort of coherence to it, but I'll take it. I like our little crew, as it were. Um, Everyone's saying hello. And Zaidi's saying hello back. Hello, Sloth says, Skip, how are you? I'm doing well, Skip. How the devil are you, Skip? How the devil are you? That was the question. Um, yeah, it's all going well. Um, Trying to think now. I've got to do a video this week. I realised that I hadn't done one last week, and but sort of it seems a bit quiet at the moment. I'm not seeing anything that's sort of outraging me to an insane degree. Nikita Dragon copying some shit isn't exactly video worthy in my book, but I'm sure to someone it will be. One of the drama channels where they just talk about people stubbing their toes and shit like that. But everything. But yeah, I haven't seen anything. It's been kind of quiet, to be honest with you. I tidied up my Twitter quite a bit, and I've like muted a bunch of people and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is nice and peaceful on here now. I'm just like talking to the people I actually want to talk to, and seeing the things I actually want to see. And I signed up to a lot more sort of like interests based Twitter pages, and like funny stuff as well. Like I saw this video of this dude, like yeah, like the seagull comes down to steal some. I think he's got some like it must be like cockle from the like the seafood bar that's on the beach, and this is like Mrs. just like screams. She's like, ah! And he turns around, sees the seagull, and just jumps it, and the seagull fucks off. I don't know. I found that really funny. Maybe it's not funny like describing it, but I put it on my Twitter anyway if you want to see it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I like the fact that there's more. There's better things to watch, I think, as opposed to just sort of the same people freaking out all the time. Natasha saying hi to Zylie, and hi to Skip, and hi to everyone else who came in recently. And then Terence has always got something to say now. Terence says, as far as I'm concerned, they all ripped off the scene from Ghostbusters. What scene from I missed something there. What scene from Ghostbusters? Um, I'm sure you'll explain it. Siley, oh yeah, dude, my mute game is strong on Twitter. Yeah, I think it sort of has to be, after a point, especially when it's sort of like the same old thing again and again. It just gets dull, man. Do you know what I mean? I think that's sort of like my biggest problem with it is if it wasn't for the case of it's like, oh, so and so is doing this again, then but if it was like sort of news or something that wasn't just every couple of months occurrence or whatever, or every couple of weeks in some cases, then yeah, I'll be more inclined to check it out. But I don't know. It's like I've been on here for like a year now, and you pretty much have everyone sussed. Like, after 6 months anyway. Shanoa, it's hilarious that the Trisha's community was asking her to make another video like the ghost one, and then Nikita makes one. Yeah, it's yeah. Nikita is just you know they're both part of the same boat, I guess. But like Nikita is like fully shameless. Like that's someone who, if it weren't for the fact that she's like horrible, you'd almost like commend the little fucks that she actually gives. Do you know what I mean? But it's yeah, she's pretty obscene. Um, Natasha says, "How about that Eurovision, Italy?" Oh, do you know what? Right, I was so fucked off about that, and not because it's like Italy specifically. I just thought that band was shit, man. Like compared to like some of the other stuff, like Malta had a banging one, Iceland had a banging one. Um, who else now? Switzerland, I thought his was like, sort of like a song that grew on you sort of thing. It was like at first, because I watch it with my family usually, and like so me and my mum, it's like, the first couple of bars come into the song, and you just we always end up going like, if it's a weird one, we thought his was not going to be that strong, but yeah, he had a cracking voice, man. But I just didn't like. Yeah, I just didn't like it. It's too poserish for me, that kind of like rocky metal sort of thing. It's like I just didn't enjoy it, man. And it's for me, right, Eurovision is one of those things where um I used to watch it because it was weird. It was fucking weird. It wasn't like people didn't take it anywhere near as seriously as they do now. And at one point, people you can always tell when like countries are sort of sending forward acts that they know aren't going to um, do that well because it costs a lot of fucking money to put on the Euro. And sometimes you see people like put some shit forward. They're like, for God's sake, we got to put an act in, but we can't bloody win it this year because it's just insane. Um, but yeah, it's this year it was a bit like, okay, but then I did sort of think the probably aspect of it because with a lot of Eurovision, there is a lot of, um, yeah, I guess you could sort of call it like political voting. So say for instance, you always know that Cyprus are going to give Greece in the jury section of the votes giving points. You know that they're always going to give Greece 12, always, and then there's like neighboring countries that always give each other 12. Um, and but yeah, but also like people will vote for countries that they feel like they need like a bit of a boost and stuff. And of course, with what happened last year with Italy and COVID and it hitting so early and so savagely, I think that was probably and not fully, because you you can never account for the musical tastes of Europe in general. That's one thing that the Eurovision shows you. Um, but yeah, it was. I think that's probably like a good portion of what it was down to was the fact that yeah, like Italy had it really fucking rough last year in terms of the COVID. A lot of people got wiped out, man. So yeah, I think that was probably something to do with it, but I don't think that's the full reason. Do, 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 do. No, I just saw that tweet. It was hilarious. Not today, Seagull. Yeah. Terrence, sure do. Lol. Skip saying hello. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Nikita is like a bull in a china shop. Oof. But damn, is she on a mission? Yeah, she's on the Nikita mission to build the Nikita brand at all times. Natasha, I still need to go see the Malta and the Switzerland one, but I did see the Italy one, and well, I have heard worse, but I did find it catchy. I think it was because like we watched it from the very beginning, so like you see, um, if you're watching it disjointed, maybe it sounded better than it was, but yeah, I just thought it was a case of um, I just didn't think it was the best one, man. I certainly didn't. I think like I didn't expect it to get as many points as it did. That was obscene how many points they got. But yeah, but I was really surprised that Germany got so little as well. We got nothing, but that's not uncommon either, because you know we are hated. That's the UK and Europe, so we never send anyone who anyone's even heard of over here. A lot of the time, we'll either send people who are so sort of past it musically that they'll get some votes because they're universally known, but they're never going to win because the song was never that good and the singing isn't up to that par. But or we send people that no one fucking knows. No one knows. I mean, that guy apparently he writes songs for people, but he's not like a person that people know over here by any means. But I always feel bad if they get like nothing, because some countries do get nothing, no points whatsoever, and it must suck being there and just having not a single point to your name. It must just you know, take the country thing out of it. Like as a person who's gone out there, you know, he already knows he's not going to win because it's a Brit entry anyway. But yeah, it just sucked, man. I didn't like seeing that, but I reckon he's in Rotterdam that night, so he probably got nice and fucked up. Terence, she could take Jeffrey with her and return him to his people. Yeah. Natasha, I think I only watched Eurovision once. What, in your life? That's pretty insane. Um, Skip, your Eurovision tweets had me so confused. I had never heard of it. Yeah, well, it's one of those European things. Yeah. Although, we have got Australia in there for some bizarre reason. Fuck knows why that happened recently. Um, Although they didn't get an act through this year. We always have like a mandatory finalist from this country because we put a lot of money into the Eurovision contest in general. But yeah, we never even come close to winning. But I was very surprised that Germany came so low on the fucking. I was like, ooh, what's Germany done that like the rest of the countries hate so much, man? Because it wasn't that bad a song at all. It was exactly Eurovision quirky enough. Um, Anyway, drama, Pool or Terence, me either Skip, Natasha. I'm just very surprised Italy won, lol. I think it's the first time they won in a while as well. Skip said laughing at return him to his people about Jeffree Star. Terence, so Battle of the European Bands. Not bands, it's more like artists, I guess. But you get bands every now and again. Like this Finland send like metal bands quite a lot, and they won with this band called Lordi where they're all like dressed up in like as demons and stuff, and it's pretty wild. I'll post it after this stream just so you can see. But that was unusual. At one point Ireland was caning it every year, to the point where it's like we can't fucking keep winning this. Send Jedward one year because we can't afford this. It's fucking us over. uh Terence says to Natasha, had to ask Shanoa, that must have hurt to have a 0 score, not even a 1. Well, that's it. Again, as a country we're used to it. No one from the UK goes into Eurovision expecting to win. Like it just doesn't happen. Not since Gina G was a thing, and then before that I think it was like Bucks Fizz or some shit, which is a long time ago. So Chispa speaks, hello, how's it going, how are you, how was your weekend, how are you doing, welcome to the chat. uh, Everyone's saying hello, 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 hello. The grand final. Oh, you put in the grand final for the Eurovision on there. Fair play. Yeah, it's worth it. The thing is, I think next year I'll just do a stream for it because it is fun. The thing is, if you don't enjoy Eurovision, you're not watching it right because you can't go there originally for excellence. You've got to go there wanting weirdness, and then if you find excellence on the way, that's a brilliant perk, and they are getting better and better, all the acts every year. A lot of them are doing stuff in their own languages now, which is even better because at one point they were all singing in English, and like that's the way that you can sort of hear what they're saying and understand it. But for people who speak it, but it doesn't come across quite right because I guess maybe they've translated it from their language to English and not just written it English direct. So sometimes it's sort of it doesn't seem as it doesn't seem the kind of song that they want to do, if you know what I mean. But yeah, with more of them singing in their own languages, I think it's even better. I think that's the best. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. But you used to get so many weird fucking acts. Like Lithuania, without fail, puts forward some weird shit. Like they did this year as well. I remember one year, like Russia put forward like a load of Russian, like these like really ancient nuns who I don't even know if they even sang, if I'm being honest. But they won. It's just you get some just really obscure things coming through. Lordi, that time that they won, that was completely took everyone by surprise. But because it was so different. I think that's why people were into it. And then also, there's a lot of countries in Europe, like your Norways, your Swedenlands, and all the rest of it that have really big metal scenes over there. So yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I fucking love it. And people are always surprised when I say that I love it because I listen to fucking death metal and I listen to all sorts of music, but I listen to like really heavy stuff as well. So they always find it strange when I'm like, yeah, man, gonna watch the Eurovision this weekend. I can't fucking wait. And here's the thing as well is the way I do it is I never watch any of the lead up to it. I don't want to see any of the bands until the night. I want it to be a complete and utter surprise, so that when the artists come on, so it's like, what the fuck is this? When the weirdness does come. So yeah, next year I'll do that. I'll do like a watch along Eurovision stream because it's like 3 hours or something as well. So we'll have pizza. We'll all get our food and everything, eat our snacks and whatnot, and just be like, oh my god, can you believe what fucking you know Lithuania put forward this time? It's great, like I said. And if you're American, you've not seen it, whoo, is that a treat for you? Because yeah, European music is a different thing. It's a different beast entirely, but it's cool. It's one of those things where there's a lot of there's a lot of range to it. Let's put it that way. um, but yeah, I'm not surprised no one from over there has heard of it because it's not partaking in it, I guess. So sort of why would you in a way? Shanoa says new language or English, the language of the sloths. Yeah, it's all about the English. Um, but yeah, it was good though. It was good. It was a fucking good night. Um, but yeah, what's everyone else been seeing out on these streets? Anyone thought of any topics maybe that they want to talk about? According to someone I know, European music is like going back to the 90s. Yes, yes, it is. In fact, actually, shit, which country was it now? There is this one who was proper. It was very 90s boy band, but it was a guy who had like, I think he had like Tourette's, like he had really savage tics, but when he sings, he doesn't. And there was like one point where he takes his shades off because he's wearing shades indoors, and his eyes used to got like that blinking tick. So obviously, when he's nervous, it's even more exacerbated. But like he can sing, which is something I've heard a lot of times, where excuse me, people who have like Tourette's or stutters and things like that. Sometimes singing is something that they're able to do without having that interfere, which I think is really cool. And there's always like something new, and it's quite like I guess like a bit of a um, I guess it's like quite a liberal contest as well. It's all about like togetherness and all the rest of it, even though sometimes the voting doesn't necessarily show that. But the way the contest is sort of run and the messages they put across. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Nikki Tutorials was hosting it too, and it was good as well. The presenters this year were a lot better than they usually are, and she did really well. It's I didn't realize how bloody tall she was. It was like she was like dwarfing the person that she was with. It was wild. But yeah, it was good. It was all around. It was probably one of the better ones I've seen, even though I didn't necessarily like the result. Um, but you know, it's the it's the journey, not the winning. Devon, according to someone I know, European. Oh yeah, I already read that. So yeah, that's answer your question. Yeah, basically, it kind of is in a way. Skip. Oh, you should do that next year and stream with somebody that's never seen it. That would be funny to see their reaction. Yeah, yeah, that would be good actually. Hopefully by that point I've got like Streamlabs and all that shit sorted out because I don't like StreamYard. I don't know what it is. It sort of does my head in a bit. Shanoa, be right back consoling a very sad boy right now." Oh, well, I hope he's not too sad, or at least you're gonna be able to console him. That sounds pretty sad, basically. Hope everything goes well. Terence reminds me of Ozzy. Can't tell what the fuck he is saying when he sings. I understand him. Yeah, he used to be awesome live, man. I remember seeing him at Donington years ago when Download Festival was still Ozfest, um, and System of a Down was supporting basically like the second headliner. Um, it was a sick time. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, it's a shame what happened with him. Parkinson's. I mean, my dad's got Parkinson's, so it's all about, especially with him. You know, like touring and everything is such a big part of Ozzy's life. It's sad, man. Um, but yeah, it's the sands of time at the end of the day. Devon, you use a different part of your brain to sing. I have a speech impediment and sound normal when I sing. Oh, well, there we go. It's interesting how, yeah, like you say, it's different parts of the brain, but still sort of, I think it will always be sort of fascinating to people, like how that comes about. And I think it's pretty beautiful at the end of the day. Um, Terence, I only use the goofy part of my brain. Yeah, yes, he does. Yes, that is a fact. Never a truer word. No. Yeah, it's mad. I mean, in all sorts of facets, the human body is a crazy fucker, man. Like it does exactly what it wants. I mean, like me myself, me having the Fabry disease is like, that's a bizarre thing. And then I've got friends who, they've got their own things going on, and it's just one thing that I say to friends who, um, you know, think that they're sort of in the clear of all of that kind of stuff. It's like, so did I, dude. One time I thought I was invincible, pretty much, the way I was carrying on. And then I found out, well, actually, you're not. You never have been, and you've had this since birth. So what's up with that? So yeah, it's just you never know what's going on with the human body at the end of the day. And that's one thing I say with that and most things, which is be prepared to be surprised at the end of the day. It's you know, which is the lyric from a song that was on the Dan in Real Life soundtrack. It was a really good film, really good soundtrack too. But yeah, be prepared to be surprised. That's probably the only thing you can literally guarantee in life. Because it's not a lot of other things you can guarantee, and literally nothing is perfect ever. So yeah, it's bizarre. Oh gosh, I thought I was fine. Then I caught mono and found out I have a genetic disease. Wow. I mean, sort of, yeah, that is wild. I mean, that's the thing, is like you usually find out via other things that you have these underlying issues. It's generally that is. Um with me, I was, I just basically been to the doctors for so many years, um, like back and forth trying to figure out what my thing was. And then it wasn't until I um, basically said to my doctor, I don't care who I see, I just need to see someone who knows more than you. And, you know, then I went to a neurologist and they were like, asked me a bunch of questions like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you've got this insanely rare thing. But we'll do a blood test to make sure. And then, yeah, did the blood test, and that was that, really. So, but it's kind of interesting as well. I've noticed that like a lot of people that I interact with online and via Twitter and, just via this channel, I guess, it's sort of a lot of people who, they tend to have their own things going on, which, I always make the joke with me and my friends. It's like, oh, we're the sickly crew sort of thing. And that's like with my mates in real life, because I've got a mate who's epileptic. I've got another mate who he's had so many back operations. It's kind of insane. And like whenever he shows us like the pictures from it, because he always can't wait to show us the pictures. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's like something of fucking Alien or Predator, man. That's insane. So the body will always, yeah, it's always sort of trying to find a way to fuck you over. So it's best not to get too complacent, I guess. Um, um, But there's obviously things that can never be helped either. That's the other thing. Shanoa back. He is back to a happy boy. There we go. That's what we want. Shanoa, he doesn't want to go back to school tomorrow. He wants to keep homeschooling. His mama definitely needs him at school. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, like yeah, he needs to socialize at the end of the day. Otherwise, we're gonna have like a generation of kids who are just like, even more insular than the rest of us. So, um, Terence is laughing. Shanoa, oh boy, are you okay, Devon? Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, like anything like that. Um, yeah, but I gotta get an IV 3 times a week now to live. But no, that's it is insane. To be fair, what do you have that like come to your house, or do you go to the hospital? Because I mean, with mine, I have mine every 2 weeks, and the nurse comes to my house. Bloody hell! After doing that podcast today, my voice is hoarser than usual. um, yeah, that is rough. Shanoa, Chispa, or Shanoa gives him hugs from me and Miki or Mikey. Maybe one of those, maybe neither. My pronunciation is never that great. Um, but yeah, it's yeah, that's the one thing with anything like that. It's never fun. But like the one thing I would say is at least there is an option. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting IV every 2 weeks too, but I go into the city to get it. Um, Devon, usually it's a nurse, but I'm able to give it to myself and report to them on an app about it. It's Meanie. Why? Oh, Miki. Right. Okay. Okay. It's pronounced Mickey. Oh well, that's Mickey. Yeah. There we go. I'm getting conflicting reports here. Yeah. Well, you're braver than me, Devon. Because we have the option to, because obviously my mum has the same treatment as me because it's hereditary, and we have the option to do it ourselves or to give each other the treatment. And I was like, no, I just no, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's I'll do a lot of things in the name of my health, but like I can't physically do that. I can't do it to my mum because what if I fuck it up? And she was thinking the same thing. It's like you can't have that on your conscience, man. So I guess if you're doing it to yourself, it's a different story. But yeah, the way I reasoned it for me anyway, I was like, yeah, there's a reason why. Like I sort of go to them, so I'll just I'll let that continue. Devon, same with me and my mom. I said it the way you guys do. Mum, I give her the IV since she can't with her fingertips. Fair play. uh Lol, she said you're allowed, you're her auntie. Okay. Fair play. um yeah, no, that's wild, man. That's it's unfortunately it's the thing that you got to do to have a somewhat, I guess, normal life in that kind of regards. um yeah, it's I don't know, it's something that I think about a lot, but then I sort of try not to think about too much because otherwise, I could. When I was younger, I used to get very like frustrated with the whole thing because I was pissed off when I was younger when I found out I had it because I had all of these plans that I wanted to do, and obviously a lot of that had to be scrapped, and then on top of that, um, I um, I sort of read up a lot of stuff online, and I sort of saw basically sort of the worst case scenario sort of thing, which was basically saying that I was probably going to have as a male with it, probably going to have like a heart attack around about now. So that's why I was like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna live like there's no tomorrow and just go crazy and party like 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 I'm not gonna make it to to that age anyway, sort of thing. And it wasn't until I got to about 25 that I realized I'm probably sort of got slightly wrong information here because I didn't feel like I was going anywhere, and if I sort of complied with the things that were going to help with, my thing, um, then things would get better. And like at that time as well, I didn't sweat and all of these kinds of weird things that would sort of people would find strange because also I'd have to wear shorts all of the time because I would be completely just outrageously hot all of the time. Um, so I was wearing like shorts in the dead of winter in the UK, which is it's just like, I tried it. I tried it when I started sweating again, and I tell you what, I don't know how I did it for as long as I fucking did. So yeah, it's a weird one. I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's a thing where you I think it's totally natural for people to think about it in that kind of way where you're like, you're sort of down on it, but then at the same time, and it's annoying when other people are like, well, it could be worse, because I've had that and it pissed me off at the time too. But yeah, I sort of got to a point where I was like, well, yeah, no, I guess it can be because I spend a lot of time in hospital and I see some people in a lot of fucked up, you know, ways, basically. So, is that one of those things? Because my mum always used to say, um, well, the good thing is with us is like you would never know that we had it because just to look at us, and that used to fuck me off because like I would have worse symptoms than she would have. So I would think that she was like sort of quantifying it wrong, and then yeah, I sort of as I got older, I sort of realized, well, no, it is actually true. It was just me being pissed off at the time because I thought that I'd been robbed. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but I think what I'm trying to say is that it's perfectly natural to feel whatever kind of way you feel towards it, but at the same time, knowing that there are options to make it better is probably makes you feel a bit better, as it does with me. Um, Oh, Raf has come in. Hello, how's it going, Raf? How are you? How you doing? What is up in your world? Everyone's saying hello to Raf. Devon, I'm surprised I made it this far since doctors told me people with it don't make it to 40, but my mum is 54, so I'm confident I'll be fine now. Yes, absolutely. Having half use of my legs sucks though. Yeah, well, that's always going to be the pullback, but I guess yeah, there are obviously sort of ways of see the thing is way my brain works is I'm a fixer. So like I like to just go, well, okay, that might be the way, but there are sort of ways around it, So but it all depends on like your mentality towards it, I guess. Which, if with it being your thing and you're dealing with it the way you are, you're entitled to have. Raf, what are we talking about? I thought I would come on and find him in a hot tub. Well, first off, right, if that tweet was to be taken seriously, then me inquiring about a hot tub like a few hours ago and me getting a hot tub at this point in time is pretty optimistic of you there, Raf, to be fair. But yeah, no hot tub, I'm afraid, mate. I'm not happy about it. No one seems to be. Jesus Christ, I won't make any jokes in the future. um Skip hashtag hot tub meta. Sloth in the hot tub is a conflicting thought. Yeah, I don't know. It's sparked debate, it would seem. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. But you know, I'm sure there'll be some kind of petition, no doubt. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just found it funny because like if you go onto Twitch, you get that, and then there's also um like what like watch me sleep and shit like that. So and they had like thousands and thousands of people watching it. So I'm like this at this point. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck people want to watch, if I'm being quite frank. It's like if you told me that like, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a stream. Oh, brilliant. Okay, what are you gonna stream? You're gonna stream some games? Is it gonna be, informational? Is it gonna be musical? What's it gonna be? No, just me sleeping. Right, okay. What, as a joke? No, I'm just literally going to sleep I'm gonna let my 8,000 simps watch me." I go, "Right, okay. I don't think I identify with this planet as much as I thought I did before." You know? It's very peculiar, yeah. Um, we all just wanted to see a shirtless sloth, okay? Can you blame us? That certainly is not gonna happen the state I'm in at the moment anyway. So, I need to work out, but yeah, yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna do that, and then I just never fucking bother, to be fair. Um, I will. The thing is, like, I used to work out so much at one point. I think I've gotten used to being a bit lazy now, so I need to sort of get back into it. Um, maybe I'll make that content, and then that'll make me fucking actually do something for a change. I'll make a video out of it. Um, but yeah, it's people watching people sleep, they can watch me work out. Like, um, watch me sleep. That's so weird. It's fully weird, Skip. It is fully weird. Um, I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. I don't get it. I'm like, sure, there are people who are into that. Someone put a reply on that tweet I did earlier about the hot tub joke thing, and they said, was it Carry On Chronically, where she goes, "Oh hell, for those kinds of like subs or whatever," she's like, "I'll just sit in a weenie bin and just full of water and fart just to make the bubbles." And I wanted to come back and go, there is probably actually a market for that, believe it or not. I mean, I haven't been on OnlyFans, but I imagine there's some fucking weird stuff like that on there, you know. Um, Devin says Twitch makes me think, I have big bosoms and look at shirts. I can make money just sitting. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's like uh it's one of those you got people are watching people open up fucking Pokemon cards over there, which if you told me that back when they were like fully popular when I was a kid, um there's a lot of stuff if you told me, like, was actual entertainment when I was a kid, I'd been like, "Fuck off, mate. No one watched that shit." Like, I would have definitely been like, "Are you kidding?" Like, watching people play video games until started watching Twitch. I don't watch it all the time. I don't watch it as much as YouTube. But up until that point, I thought that was one of the most insane things I've ever heard. I was like, "What? People are just watching people play video games? Fuck that. I'll just play them." But it's not about that. It's more like, like sort of like what we're doing, like the hanging out here, but it's like something in between. And I've done a few Twitch streams, and it is good in the sense where you can. It's not like, say, with this, where like the onus is on me basically to talk all of the time throughout the 2 hours or whatever I happen to be doing. Um, Whereas with when you're playing a game or whatever, and people are watching you, the game does half of the work for you. So it's quite good in that way. It's and and it's also relaxing. That's sort of the bit that I found. But yeah, if you told me 10 years ago that like people would be doing that, or probably younger still, I'd be like, nah, man, that's bullshit. No one's going to do that. You're talking out your ass. Um, but people are watching people sleep now, so this the world of tomorrow, the crazy world of tomorrow that I'm still trying to figure out. Raf, you can just do what they do for fashion photos: sit in the tub with pants on, put a glass or plastic over the top, and cover it in soap suds. Pretend you're naked. Well, that would be the OnlyFans, surely. Devon, can't wait for Sloth's exercise with me streams. Um, yeah, I might do that. I might do it in a video form. Who knows? Because it's like all the stuff's um in my summer house, like, because I have got like I've got like a full like weights area and everything. So yeah, I could do that because I hate going to the gym. That's the other thing. I don't like peacocks and all of that shit. So and people who are just like doing look at me grunting and all of that kind of stuff, and Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if I'm working out, I'm working out. That's what I'm there to do. I'm not there to like, have some roider come at me and just like be like, are you fucking taking up all the time, bro? And it's like I literally just sat down. If you don't like, there's plenty of other equipment here, man. Like, you don't need to be on here at the same time as me. Fuck off. Um, so many people, Shanoa, so many people do the sleep live on TikTok too. On TikTok, fair enough. Makes me uncomfortable. I would never be able to sleep like that. Yeah, I burnt myself out on TikTok pretty quickly, to be fair. I go on there very occasionally, but I didn't like. When I first got the app, there was about 5 solid days where I was just like wasting way too much time on there. And then yeah, it fizzled out for me because a lot of it's sort of the same, and there's only so many times I can watch people like wash, you know, put loads of like bleach into a toilet, and do you know what I mean? Like, there's just like there's a lot of shit on there. I feel like whoever subs to watch me sleep content should be on some sort of list, like for the protection of us all. Lol. Yeah, well, they probably are members of the forum .com or whatever it happens to be. I would imagine. Yeah, I think I might do on a video on neckbeards and incels and nice guys this week. That might be what I do, just for a laugh. Because I do love talking about that. I find them fascinating. That like they're that sort of in their own way. I find it amazing, just like people are that clueless, to be honest with you. But especially neckbeards, I have a special place in my heart for the, distaste I feel for them. Um, Chispa speaks. I have to go get ready, start my Twitch stream. Oh, look at you. Have a good rest of your stream. Talk soon. Bye, everybody. Yeah, have a good one. Hope you have a lovely stream. And you get all of the subs your heart desires. Excuse me, Shanoa. See you after this stream. Say hi to Mickey for me. Raf, bye. Nancy, someone paid me $100 to take a picture of my feet when I went to the beach. What? Do you know what? That's wild, right? So I had this girlfriend who had like the same kind of messages from this dude all the time, asking her to send him. This is before we were going out. We were like living together in like a shared house. But she was like, "Ads, I keep getting these messages. What do you think?" I was like looking at it. I was like, what the fuck? And he was like asking for her to like buy a certain pair of shoes and like wear them out basically, just like solidly for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and then send them to him for whatever it is that he wants to do. He didn't allude to that. I'm sure we all have imaginations. And she was like, "What shall I do?" I was like, "I don't know. It's pretty weird." And she's like, "Yeah, but they are just fucking shoes." And I was like, "Do what you want then." Like, at the end of the day, if it doesn't make you feel weird, then that's fine. Like, I guess I ain't gonna stop you. But at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't. But because that's the other thing then, like once you send one pair of shoes, they're always asking for fucking shoes then, aren't they? It's like it's a never ending thing. Nancy, what? Really? Yeah, that's really not that uncommon, to be fair. That's not the first or the last time I've heard that. Nancy Skip, yeah, he was really polite. That was the other thing about this dude, actually. He was super polite. It was almost like, oh, bless him. He's just a little filth merchant, isn't he? That's all it is. He just wants some shoes to toss off to. But yeah, it's like, fair enough. Well, you can't get the girl, see if you can get their shoes, I guess. Raf, the worst are the ones that started recording themselves sleep to catch themselves past gas. Thanks to those stupid ads. What? So what, for adverts? What, the people watching adverts of people fine? I don't know. It's a weird place. The internet's such a crazy place, man. It's why you've got to be careful who you interact with at the end of the day. Um, I watched too much Catfish when I was younger, so I am sus of people in general. Um, I've got to really do a recce on them first to start talking to them. Um, Devon, get paid for feet pics too. Was an interesting day. Got paid. Wait, what, Raf? It was an interesting day. Jesus Christ. It's well, that's the thing. It's I guess that's what OnlyFans is now, isn't it? Really, it's just a lot of people asking for very specific things. Um, yeah, especially if you go to Nick Ricardo's one. My God, I was just started following him on Twitter because at one point he was like private for ages, and I've gotten to a point where I can sort of appreciate the the entity that is Nick Ricardo. I can't watch them all the time; it does my head in too much, and the wah sort of baby thing does do my head in after a point, but I get it more than I did before. But and the fact that he's just I just love the fact in a way that like, he is just like taking the piss. And so many people take it dead serious. Oh, yeah, that's a podcast and stream worth of talking is fucking me up now. But I do it for you lovely people. See. um Old socks too. Oh my god, somebody give them my number. Yeah. Yeah, well, you always wonder where that one sock goes, isn't it? And when you come out of the when it comes out of the tumble dryer, you're like, I wonder who. Well, it was that dude in your building with glasses on, who keeps looking at your feet. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just saying. Raf says, yes, Devon, TikTok has these ads of people doing that. Now there are a bunch of those. It's ridiculous. Yeah, people are just getting wild with it, aren't they? It's Skip says joke. Yeah, sure. All right. Whatever, Skip. Joke. Yeah, I get you. Devon, every day I get happier and happier that I've never used TikTok. It's just a strange place, man. It is. I um it's it's content that you can rinse through very quickly, but it's not my kind of content, if you know what I mean. I have more of an affinity for Vines. I know that's like terribly old and antiquated now, but I did like Vines a lot. I still watch Vine compilations like um to this day. I did the other day. I think it's brilliant. Um I just don't really get the sort of same. It's like I don't know. I feel like TikTok is too manic for me. And also I just don't give a fuck about doing videos half the time on there. It's just I got it. It's a laugh. I'll pop on there every now and again. If people send me funny stuff, that's different. But as from trawling through trying to find funny stuff, yeah, man, I can't be doing it really. It takes up too much of my life. It's like I'm too easily addicted to shit. Um, Okay, so Devon, read that. Raf, I know of someone, thanks to TikTok, who made close to what for selling pictures of his feet. What are you selling it through TikTok? That is wild, man. Like, I thought that's probably what OnlyFans was for, really, but I don't know. It's not like it's not that wild to think about, really. When you think about what people do spend money on, we've talked about people watching other people fucking sleep on here. So yeah, it's not that insane, I guess. Shanoa, he is a troll. I can see that, but he grosses me the fuck out. Yeah, he's definitely gross. But he revels in it. Skip, Raf, I sweater. God, I'm gonna start a secret TikTok account. Yeah, it seems like it might be lucrative. Me too. Raf says my TikTok. What? So Skip's like for the feet and not for the farts. Okay. Well, you could go into the niche of both. Raf, my TikToks are just stupid lip syncs. Um, Yeah, I think, if you're just doing it for a laugh. I think the ones where they're, like, trying to cram a lot of information into one sort of got a bit boring for me fast. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. No, I can't put my finger on it, but it's just like I just lost curiosity with it, very, very sort of quickly, you know? I went nuts for a week, and then after that, I was like, okay, I get the cut of the jib now, you know? I use TikTok to show my yarn crafts and to look at baby animals. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you do, very well with the yarn master general over here, Shinoa. Um, Skip, beef TikTok is a thing, and it's glorious. Beefcakes. Um, are you talking about, like, oh, you're talking about beefcake, right? Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about, like, when people have, like, random drama with people that that's always quite a fun one on Twitter, where it's just like where they're just slagging off someone that you don't know, and I just find that fascinating. There was this one that I saw for this woman's talking about, like, her next door neighbor who was a mentalist, an absolute crazy person, who, when the kids are, like, playing in the trampoline out back, she would, like, go next to them and, blow a rape whistle, and when, like, the husband comes out and is like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Get away from me! You, like, stop trying to rape me and stuff." And it's like, "What in the fuck? You're off your head." Like, actually off your head, and it's like a 20-part saga where, you know, they end up, like, moving in the end. It's, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that kind of TikTok I find interesting. Um, I love your TikToks, Raf, says Shanoa. I haven't seen them, to be honest, Raf. I'm being a bit of a bastard, but I honestly haven't been on TikTok in weeks. Raf, no, I know of him though, through TikTok, but they sell the photos through a different account. Oh, I see. Always thinking, always thinking. Um, is he what, QN accountant? Okay. I was gonna say an accountant, and I can see that you sorted it out by the end of it. Yeah. An accountant, sure. Raf no Shinoa, he uses a different account called Pics for Sale. Nice and, inconspicuous. Skip Xylee, you already know, laugh my ass off. Nancy, I use it for recipes. Nancy uses it innocently, unlike the rest of you. Selling you pictures left, right, and center. Raf, oh, that was meant for Natasha. Yeah. I figured. Devon, huh? Skip, no sloth, hot quasi clothed guys. Yeah, no, I figured that's what you meant, but I was going to talk about what I thought it was, with tattoos. Here's now Natasha, a foot accountant. Yeah, it's a crazy place, this TikTok, for sure. It's not, yeah, it seems a bit Wild West at the moment, um, compared to, some other social medias. I guess that's why, like, a lot of the people who get big off it are sort of, you know, dickheads a lot of the time, because it is like you're just getting little snapshots into people, aren't you? As opposed to, like, say, even, yeah, I even say this with YouTube though. It's like you don't know anyone just by watching some 10-minute videos of them or whatever. Once a week, or if they do a stream, or whatever. It doesn't. You don't know that person, but you know the people even less if they're just doing sort of half-assed dances, and then they get all this humongous following, and then they become huge, and then people didn't figure out that they were actually a dickhead. Bryce Hall. I only do live transactions for feet pics, only on vacation. Oh, okay. So you're like, you know, you're on the beach, like, who will buy my feet pics? Oh, my life. Yeah, I just had, like, an image of, like, like in Oliver Twist, they sing that "Who Will Buy" song, but it's like, "Who will buy my feet pictures?" On the beach. Um, Devon, secretly Sloth is not a man, but indeed three sloths in a blue shirt. Yeah, you cut to the core of me there, Devon. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's you never see me and a sloth in the same room. Like, Raf, how I found out about him is because a TikToker I follow talks about the drama his friends get into. Footboy is one of his friends. I think I've seen this guy, this TikToker, not the foot one, but the one talking about it. I got curious once I found out how much money he made in a year. So, is this the one who also he had someone come? No, no, he's talking about a friend of his who like, so that person comes over from a foreign country, and then the quarantine hits, and then they've gotta live with this person that was only supposed to be like a hookup, but then they're living with them throughout the quarantine, and, like, it just all spirals out from there. I'm not sure if I've got the right one. I've seen a lot of, like, those TikTok drama videos, which I do like, but yeah, I don't know. Your one sort of rings familiar. I don't know why. Um Ralph says he asked Nancy, my husband asked where the money came from. I said I found it. Yeah, I found it in someone else's hand. Shanoa, lol, Nancy. Nancy, it's a beach people lose stuff all the time. Lose stuff all the time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's true. People lose stuff all the time. So, with you then, Nancy, are you going around with one of those old so you can just, or do you have these pre-made? Like, what's happening, or do they take them direct onto their camera? What's happening here? I'm sort of curious now. Raf, Uncle Dan is the TikToker's name. Yes, that's him. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was. Um, um, Raf, I got Smudge hooked. Well, yeah, okay, that's who sent it to me then. Yeah, Smudge used to send me that quite a bit actually. And as well as the one who is talking about, he's in work, he works in like an Applebee's or some shit, is that what it's called? And yeah, he's like shagging his boss and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know, that kind of stuff. I think that's brilliant because it's sort of like, well, it's harmless to us, I guess, but it's harmless drama. You know what I mean? And also, considering all of the heavy shit that's going on in the YouTube sphere, sometimes you just want a bit of like frivolous shit to talk about. you know. So yeah, I do appreciate that. That dude's funny. Canadians can be crazy, right, Smudge? Skip, my friend Footboy. Oh my god, I can't laugh my ass off. Imagine saying that sentence to somebody in real life. No, he's saying it to the world instead. Nancy, nope, it just happens. I don't know, Nancy. That's like a bit sort of, that's a tenuous response. It's a bit like, oh yeah, it's just like these pictures keep getting taken somehow. I don't know how, but it just happens. Shanoa, damn, now I feel left out. I want to see him too. Someone share it with me so I can feel like part of the group, please. Yeah, you should like get Raph or Smudge to send it to you. I don't have them anymore because like that was fucking a while ago that I watched it, and I don't have them. I don't think I've got them on TikTok. But yeah, I'm sure Raph can hook you up. Nancy says they take it. Okay, Nancy, I see. Being cagey, I understand. No, it's fine. I believe you. I believe you. Raph, new drama has has hit Smudge. Oh my goodness. I don't know what you're talking about, Raph. Yeah, it's that's the thing, is it's just like, but I almost think with those ones, right? With is it's like with a lot of things, right? So you start off, you might have like a genuinely funny story, but then there's like points where I think, okay, what point did this stop in reality? And now, because so many people have followed it and so many people like these stories, at what point did you start sort of making some shit up to like, get more views or whatever, which I don't mind. It's still entertaining and everything. It's just like for my own personal, I want to know sort of thing. Um, but yeah, it's interesting how like TikTok has probably the fun drama because it's frivolous drama, Um, with YouTube, everything's just dark at the moment, man. I can't like where's like the story time being stolen? You know what I mean? Like and shit like that, and I think the famous quote that people say is "Where's the hair in the lipstick?" and all of that kind of stuff. Because it's at the moment it's all heavy. I like to make my videos fun, but it's sort of you can't really be funny when you're talking about like James Charles being a dark piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? Um, or it's hard to at least. Raf, I will Shanoa. I have to look for it from the beginning for you. Might take me a minute to find, but I will find it, Shanoa. Thanks, Raf. You're the best. Yeah, I knew Raf would be able to sort it out. Like I say, I'm the person who I receive these things. I don't go looking for them myself. And I didn't have TikTok for ages, so that's why I was getting it sent to me on TikTok, on Twitter, because it's like I just refused to get it. And then it got to a point where I was like, I'm getting annoyed that every time I want to look at a TikTok video, it doesn't, it sort of has to open me up onto my Internet Explorer and then it just takes ages. So I thought, just cut out the middleman. I'll let China have my fucking details. Who cares? At the end of the day. Raf says when nothing happens, he doesn't talk about it at all. Sometimes weeks go by with no drama. Oh, okay, so that's something at least. Not him specifically though. I think with, like some people, they do sort of go. Some people do. Well, it's like with story times. It's like story times in general. That people have like, especially if someone's like proper young, like say for instance, let's say Tana or whatever, or like Gabby Hanna or whatever. You know that most of those story times were just pure bugs because they're not interesting enough people to have like that kind of interesting shit happen to them all the time. It wasn't until they got really big that like they found themselves in the midst of things. But up until that point, they were just sort of like basic people, basically, and nothing really crazy happens. So I think in a lot of ways with people who do story times in particular, unless they do like a story time every now and again, but if their whole thing is story times, I tend to think, and it's sort of a similar thing with like family channels and couples channels. You've got to concede after a certain point that like day-to-day life is boring. So that's why they do shit like pranks and stuff like that, because it's like they've got to fill up, there's got to be some filler somewhere, because like amazing things aren't always going to be happening. And I feel like that's the case unless they're just like a unless they've just had a particularly wild upbringing. But I don't really think those two did they? I don't think so. Gabby Hanna's wild now, but that's only when she needs to sell some shit poetry. Raf. Oh, Nancy says YouTube is dark. That is right. Absolutely. It's super dark. That's the thing. I'm just waiting for some more frivolous stuff to happen, really. There's sort of the sad side to that is people are more interested in the darker stuff, I guess, when it comes to views and such. But yeah. Smudge, the harmless drama is happening now. You just don't want to cover it. Remember, Nikita stealing Trisha's ghost sex stories. Okay, let me do the video now. Shit is as shit does. The end. It's not really. That's not as interesting to me as when what's her face? Hey Marielle stole Hey Paris's story time, because the thing with that was she turned around, tried to make Hey Paris like some kind of unreasonable like abuser, and it was like you nicked her stuff and then you're turning around and making out like she's the bad person. And she nicked it more or less word for word. It was so that's interesting, whereas like Nikita doing something a bit shitty is sort of, is that even news? Um, Raf, Sloth, your receiver. Oh right, okay, yeah, mate. Yeah, no, I get what I was like, what? And then I was like, yeah, because I get sent the videos. Okay, well done. You did that. Nancy, James Charles always gives me the creepy vibes. Yeah, he's a sketchy one. Him. He's in his little hiatus at the moment, trying to creep back, do the old Shane Dawson, just like sending out the odd little image here and there into social media, see how people pick up on it. And I'm sure we'll see him doing videos next couple of weeks, because that's just the nature of YouTube, unfortunately, when you get past a certain point. Um, Raf, why my story times are all in the past. I would get into some shit then. Not anymore. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So are mine. It's like, but you're not like. It's not like like so like when a 17-year-old is telling you a bunch of story times and they're like getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier with every single week. You can put money on the fact that it's like. I doubt a lot of this shit even happened, man. To be fair, I reckon probably the first three, and then they did well, and then after that, it's just like okay, it's just getting more mental, or they've happened to other people and they just like stories, which happens quite a lot as well. Um, okay, people out here screwing ghosts. Yes, or did the ghost screw them? That's the great mystery of it all. Yeah, so that's Nikita stole that of um Trisha. Yeah, I nearly forgot her name then. And then Trisha did that. I saw off what's her face, the one who did that song, We Are Who We Are. Kesha, I think her name is. So yeah, nothing's original these days, but then you could always do the very meta argument of like, surely all art is just imitation. um, One of the reasons. Oh, hang on. I miss the days when I only used YouTube to watch cat videos and video game walkthroughs. Yeah, I used to do, watching. It was usually stuff to do, music stuff, or yeah, just sort of like stuff on TV that happened to be on YouTube. And I didn't get acquainted with like YouTubers and all of the rest of it until um maybe like 5 years ago, something like that. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is all. Because I've heard of YouTubers, obviously, but I never really look at. I didn't know who Shane Dawson was. I wouldn't have recognized him from anyone. And yeah, it's a different world at the moment. When it comes to YouTube, I think it's because there was like again, it was very Wild West at one point, and now a lot of stuff is sort of coming back to bite people in the ass, and it can get fuzzy and murky when the person has direct contact with their audience like that. So like if you take it with like film stars and celebrities like that, there's always like a barrier there, isn't there, between them and the fan base. Whereas with a YouTuber, it's very direct to the point where, you know, it's they people watching sort of feel like they know that person inside out, and some people do because like some people are just balls out and put it all out there for everyone to see. Um, but on the other hand, you also get that people are, um, like your James Charles or your Gabby Hanna's a really good example who like talks to her directly and then sort of gets them to do things for her, never wanting to take into account the power imbalance there because they're just like, please, Gabby, can you give us some crumbs, please? Like, and of attention. And she's like, here's a crumb, now go off and destroy someone online for me. Go, my harpies, go. And they do because they want to impress their little I don't know, sort of idol, I guess, which is a bit depressing when you think about it when it comes to Gabby Hanna, but whatever. like, but but yeah, it's a strange world, YouTube. I mean, I had to think twice about doing this because it's like, you know, but I sort of prepared myself more for trolls than I did like overly zealous people who watch your stuff. I won't say fans because that's just a bit gross, um, but yeah, that didn't even occur to me, to be honest with you. It was more trolls, and like I was like, oh, do I think can I handle that kind of shit off people? And I was like, oh yeah, well, yeah, man. I grew up in the UK for fuck's sake, you know. People would have to say some pretty mental shit to me to hurt my feelings. Um, do. One of the reasons, hang about. One of the reasons I don't go backpacking or camping anymore, I used up all of my lives in my last backpacking trip, shoving a wild bear. What? Shoving a wild bear, among other things. Yeah, no. Um, yeah, that sounds pretty wild. Well, that's the thing. You get to a point as well when you've got that many crazy stories. You sort of recollect, and you're like, hang about. How many of these like narrow escapes have I got left in me? Shanoa, I'm hurting now. I was finally starting to feel better. Damn, Super Mum Day did me in for sure. Oh right, I get what you're saying now. Yeah. Well, that sucks. Yeah, that's not very good. You need to relax. You need to chill. You need to just sit back. You know, put your feet up, Shanoa. You know the drill. We've talked about this before. Raf, oh no, Shanoa, big hug. Nancy, he literally has the maturity of a middle schooler. Oh, James Charles, I'm guessing, 12, 13-year-old. He has no sense of empathy and has lived with no consequences. Well, that's the thing. The other caveat is when people are really famous from a very young age, um, they do have a skewed version of the world, and when everyone's telling you you're amazing, um, and everyone who doesn't think so is a hater, then you're going to, man. You need people who knock you down pegs, you know. Again, from the UK, man. That's what we do to each other here. So it's kind of interesting whenever you find people who aren't like that, and just really feel themselves all the time and just think they smell all their farts and they come out as perfume in their minds. And it's like, I find that fascinating that people are even like that, because for me, just having that lack of self-awareness is, I just feel like you've been conned. You've got shit mates, and your family's not really done you many favors either, unless you're just like, I'll do whatever I want and my family be damned. That's the sort of situation where you're like, well, okay, well, it's this person's all complete own fault. But like, if you've got no one around you to go, listen, your head's getting a bit too fucking big, mate, or like, like, think you're the most amazing thing ever, and then like, someone just goes, yeah, but do you remember that time that you fucking pissed yourself when we were kids, sort of thing. You need that sort of like friendship role, sort of role in your sort of in your friend bank, someone who can just knock you down pegs, because yeah, it's just not about that otherwise. It's and also it gives you a better sense of humor. That's what I find a lot of these people are missing, is they don't have good senses of humor, um, at all. Like, it's I've had that where I've like tried to talk to a couple of like bigger YouTubers sometimes, and like I've made a joke and they just don't fucking get it for love nor money, man. And I go, oh right, okay, you are all the way up your own ass. I didn't realize that. It's like, fair enough, mate. I'll leave you to it. Um, but that doesn't happen all the time, because like my bullshit monitor is usually pretty. It's usually pretty on point, to be fair. My sketch merchant device to figure out who is and who isn't is pretty on point. Um, do 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 do. Thanks, Raf. Really hoping the meds for this trial work for me. Yeah, 100%. I think that's going to be the best thing ever. I can't wait, and I'm so glad that actually worked for you this time round, Shanoa. Yeah, because that was it was getting a bit spooky, to be fair. Raf, yeah, but you have an excuse. I was a stupid mess, much older. Okay, yeah, yeah, I was just a wild child, man. Or wild. I don't know. Are you a child really? If you're in your late teens, early 20s, but I guess most people are, aren't they? A bit crazy, but yeah, it depends on what your version of a bit crazy is. I've had it sometimes when I've gone to tell stories, and then you clock that people are like, "Oh, this is this is a bit fucking wild, man." you know, their version of like a night out story where everything was crazy is a bit different from my version of one. So, yeah, you sort of have to taper yourself off a little bit. Skip, very, very true, Sloth. It does get murky, messy, even. YouTube Lives affected the dynamic in a really significant way. Yeah, on one level, I love it. I think it's great that, like, you're able to speak to people direct in that way. But then there's the people who don't have a great grip on reality and what is and what isn't, and why someone might be pretending to be nice to you because they, basically want something from you, quite frankly. And it could be your view, it could be your sub, it could be your money, direct into their cash app or whatever the fuck that app is called. But it's people don't invariably people don't put themselves out there unless they want something, and it can be like attention, um or connecting, or it could be literally just you know seeing it as a business and making money off people. And it's not to say that all of those things are exclusive from one another, but you know, it usually tends to be one more than all, if you know what I mean. There's no going back. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's yeah, yeah. I get some wild DMs every now and again. It's yeah. um, I obviously talked about the one incident which I won't go into because I don't want to keep bringing that up because that person has left me alone since, which is nice. Um, but yeah, it's yeah, it's people do sort of make stuff up in their head about you, and that's another thing that I guess you have no control over when you're doing this. Um, and some people can, they they can get it wrong, or they're just making you what they want you to be in their head, and you sort of have to, yeah, it's a bit weird. Like I say, sort of because you're not used to that in everyday life. That's not something that comes about in everyday life. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. It's a part of the beast, and if you can't handle it, then don't do it, sort of thing. Um, but yeah, there we go. Let's catch up here because I am a little bit behind. Smudge and Shanoa can tell you I probably have none left. I lost all my lives, half alive. Your guardian angel, I might. So your guardian angel is mighty tired, Raph, but it's always on the ball. You're good for a few more centuries. Yeah, that's funny. Nancy, do you accept Twitter DMs? Yeah, I'm so as long as it's not freaky, I'm cool. Raf, I think my guardian angel left on a long-term holiday, never to return. I gave them too much work. Yeah, they're still trying to fill out all the fucking paperwork. That's what it is. Nancy, Raf, have you seen that meme where an angel is doing a facepalm pose? Yeah. SS sends socks. Hello. I don't know what that means. That could mean that you're a sock account. It could mean that you were listening to what we were talking about before about selling socks for cash. But welcome, SS. How are you? How's it going? Shanoa, Raf is too much after her wings got burned the last time she left for good. Raf, yes, Nancy, inspired by mine. Mine too. Raf, right, Shanoa, they just said fuck this and left. Shanoa, my angel is always here just to smack me in the head for not listening. Raf is laughing his ass off at that. And Smudge, I sent you a link to one of Raf's stories. That's why I think his guardian angel is so tired. Oh my god, what is this going to be? Skip, right? No feet pics in the DMs. Yeah, definitely not. Raf, it's tough. internet people at times. I would get some nasty DMs from people telling me nasty things just because I'm friends with other people. I was flawed. I just blocked. That's one thing that I've weirdly anticipated but not had too much of because I don't know why actually, but I'm sort of cool with everyone, and in the community. I don't like side with anyone really. It's just I'm very adamant that I'm doing my own thing, and like sort of if you come into my world and you're cool, then I'll be cool back. But if you know there are people that I just like straight up don't fuck with, but like I don't even look at their stuff, man. So it's one of those things. There's always going to be people that you, to quote the Real Big Fish song, I know no matter what, no matter who, no matter what I do, somebody hates me. So it's like there's always going to be someone out there who doesn't like you for whatever reason. But yeah, I figured I would have had a nemesis by now. Before I started the channel, I just figured that was probably going to happen. And touch wood, it's not happened as of yet. But also at the same time, I don't think I would care too much if I did either. That's the thing, see. Surely they're only your nemesis if you give a fuck about them. So it's it's one of those things. But yeah, that sucks that you were getting that, Raf. But your story's not unique. It's a bit sort of the same as most women friends who I was going to say female friends, but that sounds very neckbeardy. Women friends who I have some kind of nice guy story, or where someone comes into their DMs and is like, you know, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I saw your pictures, and I just thought that you seemed like a really interesting person and a cool person. Just wondered if you wanted to go on a date sometime." And then they might be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm okay, thanks." Or it's like, "Oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend." And it's like, "You fucking bitch, you fucking whore. No one will ever love you. You fucking piece of shit. You're just like old as fuck anyway." And you're like, "What?" And yeah, so when you're aware that people are doing that kind of thing on the regular, then sort of don't put it past anyone when you're dealing with people online. But overall, overwhelmingly, people have been sound to me. I think I've got nosy house file protection, is what it is. I think Kerry's like watching my back. Devon, man, tried to DM Sloth about a hot tub, but it didn't work. Raph, oh no, Smudge. Smudge, just your car accidents, Raph. What? Accidents? Not any of the what? Not any of the more adventurous stories. Okay, I was thinking that's worded weirdly. Raph, oh, that one. Wait, which car accident? I know that's Madman that you've been in multiple. Although, in fairness, I do not know the story, so I cannot judge. But yeah, it's that's sounds pretty crazy. Shanoa, come on, the best one. You know the one needs to be seen, Raf. There are a few of those. Oh, so Raf is like, which one of my many stories are you referring to? Smudge, the first one I found, Raf. The second set of those, I think, you need to be more careful to avoid this confusion, Raf. That's never happened to me. No nice guy story. Oh, fair. Well, that's a good. At the end of the day, it's like you don't need that shit in your life. It's all sorts of it's like I said, I think I've not watched too much Catfish. And I watched the movie first. I didn't watch like the series first. Like some people do it the other way around, which I always find mind bending because the movie is the best. Like the movie is one of my favorite documentaries to this day, but you have to leave a lot of space between them. Rewatching, because otherwise it's just far too clear, and you need to partially etch a sketch your brain so that you can be like, you're watching it and you go, fuck man, I forgot about that bit with the post box, and it's like, and that's why I love watching like documentaries like that with someone or with people. Like if there's something that I really think is wild, then I will happily rewatch it many times in multiple days on the trot. Um, just so that I can show it to a bunch of people. Like my favorite one, because it is mind bending, but even I have to prepare my is this documentary called Tickled, and like fuck man, like that's such a crazy documentary from start to finish. It doesn't, it starts weird. It gets weirder. Like it just gets, I can't say too much about it because it sort of fucks with the whole, there is like a whole back part of it where you just don't want to ruin it for people. It's one of those things that you've got to watch it completely fresh to it. Um, but that documentary is bonkers to the extreme. The tickled it's called. Um, fucking hell. It's, yeah, that still spins me out to this day. Um, let's have a look. Someone DM'd me and started to warn me about someone, how they were going to use me. They thought way too much of the friendship. Then they started attacking me. I couldn't stop laughing at it. It's just, is it even weirder when you get someone totally out of the blue coming along and sort of trying to tell you who you can and can't talk with? It's like I don't know you, so like by rights I shouldn't be talking to you, mate. It's like if I'm a big person, I can make my own mistakes at the end of the day. Um, Twitter is like so. I know everyone makes it seem like it's the most extreme thing in the world anyway in the community at the time, but it's never usually as extreme as everyone sort of makes out. Everyone gets into this big fucking hullabaloo about something, and then no one gives a shit about it a week later. It's basically how a lot of it operates. Yeah, that's why I just plugged out, and now I just look at fucking you know too satisfied or whatever the pages are. When like all the satisfying things are on the page, or like things to do with animals, and you know Kelly, who does Kelly's Corner, who um, she's got a channel now as well. Um, she was like getting really sort of. I don't think she'd mind me saying this because but yeah, basically she was like getting a bit overwhelmed with all of the stuff that was coming on Twitter all the time. I was like, you have not got enough in your timeline. So straight up, that's the biggest advice I can give for anyone who's new to Twitter. Get more animals in your timeline, and mute a few of these really raucous fuckers, and you'll be laughing. It'll be fine, because if any big news does crop up, about like 100 people that are going to post it anyway. So you never miss out. You know, like some people think they are. Smudge, oh, the good old nice guys. Yeah, nice guys are interesting to say the least. Xylee, that movie was so good. Oh, about Catfish. Catfish is the one. Like, the series doesn't really fucking do it for me as much. Like, I watched it when it first came out, but then I remember watching the film. It's just so much weirder, man. When they get to that house and like, oh, it's just so sketchy. Um, I love it. I love that kind of thing. If anyone has any suggestions like that, where it's just like weirdo documentaries, not gnarly. I don't want like darkness, but yeah, if it's like along that kind of catfish line, or um, like the sort of the Weird and Wild, or is it Weird and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, which is it follows like this hillbilly family where you're just like, I don't understand how these people live, but it's interesting to look from the outside. I wouldn't want to live like that, but fuck, man, these guys are interesting. Um, I have too many nice guy stories. Yeah, so many people have those stories. That's the thing. See, Smudge, that's what you get for that person knowing your name, Ralph. How dare you? How dare you give out your name? Shanoa, I had a nice guy best friend who flipped on me when I told him I was getting married. Got so mad at me, slept with my cousin. What? To try and make me mad. All because I said what? All I said was Who oh, all I said was, "Who hasn't?" Okay, I don't know why I couldn't read that then. I was just must be short 2 hours, I was thinking I must be short circuiting now. That's funny, you know, who hasn't? Um, yeah, that's a weird one, mate. That's like such a like, like you were supposed to go. He's like, "Well, I slept with your cousin now," and you go, "Oh, oh well, oh, what? Look at what I missed. What involved with instead, you know, as this fucking petty piece of shit." Like, Raf, they got so mad when I mentioned that I was only friends with the person, that their DMs didn't change how I looked at the person, then went cray cray on me. I'm guessing that has happened a whole lot. Yeah, it's it is kind of political on there as well. So I guess like people do that whole thing. If but yeah, again, I don't know. I haven't had like a whole lot of it myself, which I think I've just been quite fortunate, or people just know that I just don't give a shit. So it's like, you know, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Not the reaction he was looking for. No, of course he thought you were going to be like, "Oh my god, I made a huge mistake. Please, like, can I come back?" Shanoa's put the tickle trailer up. Yes, Shanoa reads my mind. It's wild. Um, Nancy, university was not a fun time. No, no. Yeah, I'm thinking back to university. I had a couple of incidents like very soon to start in university as well. So like then after that, I was like, nope, put a fucking pin in that. I'm just gonna hang out with my friends. Raf, the best one for me was when they called me a whoring queen. They didn't like the fact that my reply was queen. I is a perpetual princess. Queens are so old, they blew their top. That is funny as fuck. That is really funny. Um, yeah, that's some petty shit, man. From their point, is it? I think that's the thing as well. It's like I think if they had that explained to them, but it was like saying that another person had done that, they'd be like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy! I can't believe they would do that. That is wild. You need to get out of that toxic relationship." Blah 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 blah. But then that person themselves is the one doing that. That's the funniest thing. A lot of the time, fucking hypocrites. Raf, you know that person was referring. Shanoa talked about it in these live. Okay, I totally know. I don't know. Don't you dare call Raf old. Dev, Raf is forever young. Yeah, well, that's just like ridiculous as well. You know, it's just I find that kind of like a funny thing on Twitter. Like everyone's like, you can't do this and you can't do that. But then like when it comes to like having an argument, like all bets are off and people just say the wildest shit to each other. And you're like, hang about, you were just the other day you were like putting out tweets saying how like ageism was disgusting, and now you're just fucking, you know. It's so funny. It's so funny when like I say, I like Rafa say like he was laughing at it. Yeah, that's all you can do really, you know, because you're just like, what a dickhead. Like I can't believe that person can't look in the mirror and see what everyone else is seeing. Dev, Rafa's forever young. Nancy, I was robbed, kidnapped. What fucking hell? What the fuck, Nancy? Robbed, kidnapped, and just straight up assaulted. Didn't happen all at once, but still, Jesus Christ, yeah. What I was going to say, what university do you go to? Jesus Christ. If you're referring to it as university, I'm going to assume is it UK because like they call it college over there. It's all college, and but yeah, that's insane. I'm sorry that you had to go through that for your university experience because it's you know people are supposed to go there and it's like supposed to be this fun, you know, I guess some kind of work has to be done as well, you know, so also I was told. But yeah, you know, you're supposed to be having this fun time, but sometimes it works the opposite way though. I found this like in terms of like friendships, but it can happen with other kinds of the way people are can exacerbate things because it's a bit of a pressure cooker because everything is quite intense when you first get there and you know everyone's trying to make friends as like soon as quickly as possible and you know that's how you get like people who Like at the beginning of university, I remember like I met there's just like these friends who that they seemed like they've been friends for years, and like this was like in the second week, and I'd assumed that they'd both come from the same school or something. So it was like, oh, so how long have you boys known each other? And they were like, oh, just just since the beginning of uni. And I'm like, what? Like fucking two? Well, it might be 3 weeks at the most. Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, man! I thought you guys had been friends forever. And they were like, no, no, we're just like bestest best friends, sort of thing. And then 6 months down the line, they fucking hated each other, man. Like we're like active enemies against each other, and you sort of get that with like just any relationship or any kind of like quirk that like a person has, or if they've got like some kind of like gnarly shit, if they're like a crazed loner, then they get even more crazed and they get even more lonerish. It's a weird one the way university works. It can it can be the best thing ever, or it can be the worst thing ever. It's one of the two. You either what was it that my mates used to say? You either put on weight when you come back from uni, or you lose weight when you come back from uni, and you can usually tell the kind of time that the person has had, by which is which. Shanoa, oh, that's rough, Nancy. Yeah, it's fucking rough as assholes, man. That's crazy. That's I would see the nerdy part of me is like, mm. But that's not exactly something you want to regale for all of sundry to fucking hear. Plus, yeah, there's we get into like the 2 hour mark too, so you know that's it's just wild. That's crazy, man. Raf, why would a stranger think their opinion would matter in regards to a friend? I don't understand that at all. Exactly, it's like, who are you? Who are you? What the fuck are your qualifications, man? you know, it's like, why should I trust you? It's like, it's bizarre. Yeah, it's really bizarre when people do that. When you don't know me, but I'm going to tell you how to live your life because somehow I know better. And it's like, okay, dude, I'll tell you what, if you write it down on this scrap piece of paper, yeah, and put it in my file, and my file is any bin that you come across, just pop it in that. I'm sure to find it. Don't worry, That's I sort of want to be like when shit like that happens. Um, du- 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 du. Nancy, I grew up in a rough place, so I wasn't scared, and I guess that scared those people more. Well, yeah, that can also happen too. Yeah, when people are even more because they're almost like that's what they're doing it for, is for the fear. And when you're not scared of someone, yeah, that's when you can sort of freak out the bully or whatever situation you find yourself in there. Raf, oh my goodness, Nancy, no, it's California State. Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, no, I have heard it called a university before. Yeah, I call it university because community college is a thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. I understand from my watching TV. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. We call it university or college, depends on the place. Some are actual universities and some are colleges. Okay, because yeah, college and university are two different things here. Nancy, that school just happened to be built in a rough neighborhood. It's near gang territory. Fucking hell, man. It's yeah. Well, it seems a bit misguided of them to build it there. Like, what is it? Where the actual university, or are you talking about where your I believe you guys call it digs or something along those lines, but like college flats, apartments. I'm guessing is that I don't know. It's like it's weird to like talk about because you don't want to. I don't want to pry, like at the same time. But yeah, it's like you have said something pretty wild at the end of the day, so I'm obviously intrigued. Nancy, yeah, those incidents happening near campus at night. Raf, Nancy, that is a that is a bunch of universities in California. Nancy, I won't name the exact one, no, Nancy, but it was an F in the name. My knowledge of California universities are slim to none, apart from is it UCLA? But I think that's just because it's always in like the fucking the OC and shit. Raf, I'm glad that you are okay. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the main thing. The fact that you're okay and you're able to talk about it is all we care about at the end of the day. Oh dear, I know the one, Nancy. Okay, Raf knows everything, man. Like, Nancy, there's two. Shayna says hello. Hello, Shayna. You're pretty late. How's it going? Nice to have you here. Devon is saying hello. We call it dorms. Oh, no, fucking fancy dorms, is it? There we are. Raf, I have a feeling that of that are full of a ton of issues, Nancy. Am I close? They're speaking in code. They're talking in Sphinx language. It's not a fresh place to be. See, no, I've read Fresh. All I can think is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not even going to try and play the game if I don't have the knowledge. Okay. Shayna, hey, sorry I'm late. Lol, no, it's fine. It's fine, Shayna. I'm only joking. Fresh, no way. Hey, Smudge. Yeah, let's not play. Let's guess the horrendous university that Nancy went to and how horrible experiences had, shall we? It seems a bit. I don't know. It seems like like a dark place you can go down. Oh, that one. Okay. I'm lost too. Yes, no, I'm lost. You're lost. We're both lost. We're lost here in this game of guess my horrendous university. Nancy, I'm guessing Raph has figured it out. It seems like they're telepathic, Nancy and Raph are. So they figured it out between themselves. But yeah, that's horrendous. That's a horrendous occurrence to occur, basically. Yeah, you know, I've obviously not got any sort of stories like that, but it's you know, yeah, it's just a shame when, like I say, when it was something like that, when you're supposed to enjoy it and it's supposed to be like a great um time in your life, and it is for some people, you know, it can very just as easily be the other for a myriad of different reasons, not just, you know, kidnapping and such. You know, there's a lot of things that you know, people really get in their own heads, I think, in uni, especially in that first year. You do what I do and you don't use your head at all, or you get really in your own head, and then you come to someone like me to be your therapist friend. um, Nancy, it's a good place. I received a good education. It just happens to be in a rough location. Oh, okay, well, that's fine then. It's as long as the, you know, university was fine. It's just the rough area in which those occurrences have happened. So, Devin, how amazing Raf is a mind reader, apparently. Exactly. You know, I mean, I think we all knew that, didn't we? We all knew that. But here we have living proof. Smudge, Raf is amazing in a myriad of ways. Raf, it's just a knowledge of California unis and colleges. Okay. Terence, you all should watch some of Raf's story times videos sometime. Yeah, I find that kind of interesting that you're saying that, Mr. I'm supposed to have done a video that everyone was that you were going to do, but you haven't done, and you're still sort of teasing the facts. So, yeah, maybe you should be making your own videos before you go recommending others. Raf, more like special Smudge. I got my helmet. Okay, bro. Like, Raf, hello, my YCM. I am still waiting for my video Terence. I see. I read your mind, Raf. There we go. Yeah, but Raf really did. Lol. The stories are amazing. Yeah, deflection. I sent Sloth one about some of his car accidents, Terence. I don't want to scare him too bad. Oh my god, what the fuck are these stories, man? Like, seriously, like, is it? I don't know. I don't know. It's like this seems like this could go down a dark place. Shayna, I wish I could read minds sometimes, but then I remember that Oh, that kind of power would corrupt me. Yeah. Sorry, that's really tickled me, that has. Yeah. I love that. That's really funny, actually. Um, Drama pool or Terence says, "Hi, Raf. I'm starting to shut down now. I can feel myself shutting down now. That's the funniest thing. So yeah, we better wrap it up soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to be talking out my ass." Um, Nancy, I'm going to bake a flan. See you next week. Enjoy your flan. Like, hope it's flantastic. That was fucking corny. But yes, good luck with your flan endeavors. Nancy, have a good week, and it's nice to see you as usual. And catch you next week for sure. Um, and yeah, if I'll see you on the Twitter streets. Devon, I would want to be able to have others read my mind. It'll be like a fun drug trip minus the drugs. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I have had an instant like that, you know, not the way you're talking about, sort of the opposite, really. But yeah, there was a point where we were all like reading each other's minds, and it's like, this is fucking weird. But we'll not talk about that on YouTube because this is a family channel on a family site, and we only talk about the most wholesome of things. Raf, although I guess if I just say that, if I have every story just take place in Amsterdam, I guess I'm getting away with something there. But yeah, anyway, it's too late to go into a load of stories now. Raf, the YCM stands for You Complete Me. Oh, okay. Came about from some stupid Twitter stream conversation we had a year ago with Smudge. Okay. Nancy, Raf, did those incidents occur where people have 99 problems? Okay. This code you guys have is funny as fuck. I'm loving it. Smudge, Raf has led an interesting life, Sloth. Yeah, sounds like. It sounds like, we'll have to compare notes at some point, it sounds like. Terence is lolling, and so is Shayna. Raf, Yum, Nancy, among other places too. Devon, I was supposed to remind Sloth to tell the story. Well, there's next week. Yeah, I did get the feeling that there was something I was supposed to remember, but I couldn't remember it. So here we are. It might have been. I might have been going to talk about my first drinking holiday in Tenerife when I was 17. I think that's what it was. And we can do that next week. There's plenty of time. There's always a stream. There's always another stream. Shayna, I never want anyone to read my mind. Shayna also says, so nobody get any funny ideas. Don't you be fucking reading my mind, eh? Don't get any bullshit, malarkey ideas. Raf, yes, he was supposed to tell us the story. It's too long to tell now. That's like a week of craziness. So yeah, we'll do that next week. Because it's like a saga of stories really within 1 week. Because every night was just insane, pretty much. But yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Terence, I feel for anyone that would read my mind. Yeah, I feel like it might be a bit of a cold place. Smudge says, nope, I'll be wearing a tinfoil hat if that ever becomes a reality. Shinoa, my message not showing up. Oh, my message is not showing. What, up on here? I've not seen you for a little while. I don't know. Everywhere it looks like everything's coming up. I read that. So, where was I? Then Smudge says, which messages Shinoa first I've seen in a while? Terence, last one I saw Shinoa was Raf's YouTube link. Skip, that one did Shinoa. Damn, I've been talking a lot off air. Oh no, that's harsh. Terence is laughing at your message's demise. Shayna, is that strawberries and cigarettes playing in the background? Is there anything playing in the background? um, Raf story time video, then sloth stories. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing with me. My stories are real, and you can tell because I'm rarely the hero. You know, it's like I'm the because it's obviously I'm telling a story involving me from my perspective, but yeah, I never look good in them. I don't think anyway. Not those kinds of stories anyway. Um, Smudge, I'm here for that, Raf. Shayna, it is. I love that song. What? And I don't know. I know there's no song playing here, Shayna. I think that might just be your mind. If you're playing your favorite song in your mind, that's probably a good thing. Raf, right, Smudge, Shanoa, we need a regular story time stream. You can't have a regular one because otherwise I'll use them all up. That's the problem with story time YouTubers. They fuck themselves over because they piss out their stories super quickly. Always keep them wanting more. And then also there's the part of it where of course I smoke weed every day since I was 15 up until quarantine, so it's remembering them is the other part of it. So yeah, it's better than it usually is. There's a lot less of me going, oh yeah, what the fuck, man? Like, oh yeah, what's up, bit? Oh shit, what was this? There's a lot less of that these days, but yeah, there's still some times where I just pure forget. I've had people tell me stories that I've been involved in. And I don't remember a single fucking thing, like at all. And it's like, was I even there? And they were like, no, yeah, you were definitely there, man. You were definitely there. It's like, Jesus Christ, fair enough. Well, yeah, that's what I get for, taking a bunch of shrooms and going to a rave, like in a bank vault somewhere. Raf, who is ever the hero? I'm just lucky to survive. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, I should share the Mario Poppins story with him, Raf. I don't know. What have you done to Mario, Super Mario, and Mary Poppins? Shayna, haha, it was coming from another tab. Oh, okay. I was gonna say YouTube will shut me down if I'm playing music. Shanoa, okay, then once a month. Lol. I'll take that once a month. Yeah. Um, Raf, oh my goodness, that one makes me laugh so much. Still, Shanoa. Just talked to my friend yesterday too. True. A fried brain cannot think straight. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You get there eventually, but the story's a lot longer than it should be. Really. Smudge, I still love that story. It's a rescue thought for me. Mario Poppins, that's wild. Okay, so I am going to, because I've gone over the 2 hour mark. I usually try to keep it 2 hours because my voice definitely goes and my brain definitely goes after 2 hours. So I'm going to draw a line in the sand, or under the sand, in the sand. See, the brain's going. The old noodle is unraveling there. So I'm going to call it a night, guys. I hope this has been a nice stream for you all. We'll do it the same as usual next Monday, same time, and I will talk about Tenerife. So I will not be, you know, in a flattering light, basically. Let's say, but it was funny anyway. That's all there is to it. I might have to write some points down so I actually remember all of them because fuck, man. But yeah, have a good time, guys. I'll catch you on those Twitter streets. And if not, if you just watch me on YouTube, I'll catch you next time. I'll try and do a video in the meantime. I think I might do, like I said, something maybe like neckbeard related or something like that because I've been wanting to do that for a little while because I do enjoy those. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Catch you later. Ta-ra.